The following program is produced by students of the Brian Lamb School of Communication at Purdue University.
On this week's edition of Fast Track, we'll discover a new invention for your everyday skateboard, built from the ground up right here on Purdue University's campus.
We'll venture outside to what may seem like the Arctic in the past couple of weeks, bringing you what to expect from the weather in the future.
Also, due to recent events here on campus, we'll discuss campus safety and the procedures one can take in protecting themselves from harm. Welcome back to Fast Track. We are bringing you this week's show from Purdue's Memorial Union. I'm Ryan Strout.
And I'm Alexandra Johnson. What started out as just a hobby has now evolved into an actual product. Two entrepreneurs are taking a leap into the business world with their new device called the Kicker. The device attaches to any longboard or skateboard, allowing mobility without the constant action of pushing or kicking. Reporter Lauren Westberg visited the workshop to find out more.
Nuclear engineering senior Joe Carabetta and co-founder Evan Mertz are speeding into the electric skateboard business with their invention, the Kicker, a device that can be attached to any skateboard in under a minute.
Well, with the electric one, you don't have to push or you don't have to kick anymore. It's a lot of fun because I take it around West Lafayette whenever I'm bored at night, and I can go through like the streets. Like it feels like you're surfing. It's pretty cool.
Carabetta first came up with the idea for Kicker in high school when he wanted to find a way to make his own skateboard even faster.
So in high school, I had the idea for making an electric skateboard. I had no idea how to do it. So I went to a couple of my friends. They were into robotics and electronics. And I kept asking questions pretty much, just going to anyone who possibly knew anything more than I knew. A couple of working prototypes in high school, but they were really not finished at all. I mean, it worked, but it wasn't like good enough. And I did it for a little bit in freshman year of college, and then I kind of forgot about it.
Carabetta and Mertz met at a former Purdue club a few years ago after Carabetta had stopped working on the idea.
Joe and I, we met in electric vehicle club where we did a lot of different conversions and found out later that he was interested in doing a skateboard, and I kind of told him we need to do it.
The Kicker can reach up to speeds of 20 to 25 miles per hour, climb uphill, and the battery lasts for 4 to 6 hours. A small garage off campus has housed the creation of this versatile device.
Did electrify every longboard because it could literally electrify any longboard or skateboard that you would have. It wasn't just a specific board you had to buy.
This idea is not the first project Carabetta and Mertz have worked on together. One of their previous projects actually involved motorizing a different kind of vehicle.
Mini, what's it called? Those are mini bikes. Have you seen those before? But we made one electric, and we like tightened down something too tight, and it like broke. And so when we turned it on, it went, oh my God.
It's also more cost-effective than buying an electric board, as those can run up to $2,000.
You can just take our gizmo and put it on your board, so you're not only saving money for not having to buy a whole board all over again, but it's your board, so it's way cooler.
As the hobby turned into a business, they created a Kickstarter project. So far, they have sold approximately 100 models to be shipped out later this year.
We have some marketing planned, but it's hard. Our best marketing tool is to get them out there, just to get the product in people's hands, and they tell their friends about it.
For those interested in supporting these entrepreneurs, feel free to visit their website.
People can check out our website at gokicker.com whenever they want to just see what we're doing, see the cool product we made.
While the winter season isn't optimal for longboarding, hopefully in the spring and summer, we'll be seeing more students using the Kicker on campus. Reporting for Fast Track, I'm Lauren Westberg.
In these modern times, video games are highly regarded as the future of entertainment. These interactive amusements are also highly discussed when involving large quantities of violence. How do violent video games affect those who play them? Karina Gonzalez has more.
Playing video games is a popular pastime with college students. With the newly released Grand Theft Auto 5, the violence in this game is very apparent. So the question here is the violence in these type of games affecting their players in a negative or positive way?
I like Grand Theft Auto just because you have the chance to kind of do things that you wouldn't normally be able to do in the real world. You get the chance to drive really nice cars, you get the chance to rob banks, you get the chance to use crazy weapons. It's a real good way of experiencing things that you probably wouldn't ever get the chance to experience.
Grand Theft Auto is played from a third-person perspective in an open-world environment, allowing the player to interact with the game world at their leisure. While many might believe these violent games are frowned upon, Santoro believes otherwise.
I'd have to agree that Grand Theft Auto is a violent video game. I mean, most of the stuff that you do in it involves shooting and killing and drugs and sex, and I mean, to the most extent, I do believe that it's a violent video game, but I don't think that correlates in the real world. I think we see violence and sex and drugs just about anywhere we look nowadays, whether it be on the TV, whether it be in real life, whether it be, you know, on the news even. So Grand Theft Auto is just kind of an extension of those type of things, and once we realize that they're not real, I think that they don't have any effect on us and they don't correlate to us actually making actions. I would say that it actually stops me from doing these actions because I get the chance to play them out in a fake environment, and I would no longer want to do that in a realistic environment.
Glenn Sparks, a professor in the College of Liberal Arts here at Purdue, has experience in general research on the effects of mass media and the impact of violent video games. He believes Grand Theft Auto has become a more violent video game throughout the years, which raises some concerns for its players.
There have been some dramatic instances that have been reported in the press where people have actually engaged in what we call copycat behavior or imitative behavior, where there was one incident recently where an adolescent decided to just go out and try to replicate a scenario in the game to see what it would feel like. And so he got into an automobile and just started going around and shooting, you know.
Video games in general provide both positive and negative impacts on players. Video games can provide social interaction with other players or can create an addictive personality.
I think you play games like FIFA and it gives you a competitive ambition. You want to beat your best friend. You want to, you know, strive to get better at something. And I mean, that's kind of like a real life trait to have, is you want to be competitive. You want to work harder. You want to like try and beat somebody else. And I mean, I think that's a very positive trait, but I mean, there definitely does take away from free time and social time, and sometimes people choose video games over, you know, their real life.
Addiction to video games, that is, playing games so much that it begins to disrupt other activities, take you away from other important things, and a person has a sense in which they're out of control of regulating their time, some of those things that go along with addiction. That's a more negative effect that's a little more general, let's say. And we do know there is a lot of attention that has been given to the possibility that violent video games can affect a person's tendency to become aggressive. And there is a good literature on that. So we know that that is a possible effect of playing violent video games.
Depending on whether you talk to a gamer or a scholar, the effects seem to be different with everyone. Whether it's positive or negative, video games impact players nonetheless. I'm Karina Gonzalez reporting for Fast Track.
Coming up, we'll bundle up for more information on what you can expect in the upcoming weather.
We'll be back right after this.
We are all Boilermakers, but we're also much more. We're history makers, exploring the farthest reaches of our universe, often when strapped to a rocket. We are hope makers, rebuilders of Haitian cityscapes who ensure they'll now withstand any disaster. We are difference makers, developers of drought-resistant crops that just might end world hunger. The fact is, what we make moves the world forward. We are Purdue, makers all.
Welcome back to Fast Track. In recent weeks, we have experienced a major decline in temperatures and a significant increase in snowfall. You may be wondering if this is going to continue and for how long. Fast Track reporter Gina Rashia brings us more information about how this cold weather is affecting Purdue students and what we can expect for the rest of the winter.
Purdue students and faculty have been dealing with issues related to the cold and snowy conditions. Cold temperatures, wind, and snow are likely to be here for a while.
The pattern that we've been in for the last probably 6 weeks or so has been a cold one. If you look at the jet stream, Most of the flow is coming out of Canada, out of the Northwest. And so typically what you'll see are a lot of fast-moving storm systems.
Air masses are causing the ups and downs in temperatures we are seeing here at Purdue, and this weather is impacting students, even those from colder climates.
You know, I mean, you do get used to it, yeah, but you definitely, I mean, you still feel the cold and you still got to dress appropriately.
The snow has made it very difficult for girls in our house to park in their correct spaces. We had huge mountains of snow covering entire spots, half of spots. And as you know, as a student, it's very hard to find parking along the streets of Walton and Russell, so this made it very difficult for girls to have their cars on campus.
Winter in Indiana is usually associated with cold and snow, but these extreme temperatures are actually uncommon.
It's not unusual for us to get below zero for low temperatures, but it's probably been over 20 years since we've had such a strong cold snap. And you know, if you look at the temperature averages that we've seen so far this month in January, we might end up being the coldest since 1979.
Even though it's unusual, it seems the snow and cold are here to stay, and the students are learning to deal with the inconveniences.
Generally speaking, as long as you just cut the wind, something like this that really doesn't let much of it through, it really isn't too bad. Wear layers.
We did call a plowing company the other day on Saturday to get the snow out of our lot and into empty spaces next to our lot. So now the girls are able to park in their correct spots.
The current weather pattern we are dealing with may let up slightly in the near future. However, there are signs that this may continue on for the rest of the winter season.
We could definitely see some more significant snowfall events in this kind of pattern. So, you know, I don't think we're done with the below zero low temperatures.
With the extreme weather we are experiencing, it is important to be informed. Twitter updates are available at Purdue Weather. Reporting for Fast Track, I'm Gino Recchio.
Let's hope it gets a little warmer out there. Now, if you occasionally visit social media sites such as Twitter, you may have heard of something called Life Hacks. Life Hacks delivers day-to-day advice on how to live easier and in some ways cheaper. Kara Miller has more.
In this day and age, time is money. Life hacks are quick tricks that can save you both time and money. Let's take a look at a few quick tips and where you can find more. To help keep your shower from steaming up your mirror, cut up a cucumber and rub the slices on your mirror. This helps prevent from fogging and can save you some time in the morning. If you're getting ready to head out to class and find a deodorant spot on your shirt, a dryer sheet can be your best friend. Take the sheet and rub it on the spot to reduce the appearance of the deodorant without having to wash the shirt. Dryer sheets can be very useful. A second use for the sheet is to help remove static from your hair. Simply rub the sheet on your hair and let the sheet do the work. This will take away the static and leave your hair smelling good. For those people who suffer from smelly shoes, a dryer sheet can help you too. Place the dryer sheet in your shoe to take away the smell and leave your shoes smelling fresh. If you find yourself with a soaked through tennis shoe, don't worry. Newspaper can help you out. Simply roll up the newspaper and place it in your shoe. This will help your shoe dry faster. For those nights where you find yourself stuck eating in front of the computer, don't worry about your crumbs. A sticky note will help you pick up any loose debris hiding behind your keys. The end result is a clean keyboard without any little debris.
My favorite life hack was the post-it note to pick up the crumbs off of a keyboard because I have pets and I used to get, when I lived at home, I got hair in there all the time.
If you find yourself needing a way to better store your bag of rice, simply use a water bottle to create an airtight seal for your bag. Cut off the top of the water bottle and remove the cap. Place the top on the bag and fold the bag sides down over the open hole. Replace the cap onto the top of the water bottle. This will give your bag an airtight seal. Trying to store chip bags upright can cause some frustration. A simple way to keep the bag from falling over is to fold under the sides and create a square on the bottom of the bag. This makes the bag flat and keeps it from falling over.
I eat chips a lot and they always seem to fall over and spill and get everywhere, but this way I can set it wherever I want to.
If you find yourself driving somebody else's car and you're not sure where the gas tank is when you need to fill it up, simply look at the gas gauge. The pump arrow will tell you which side of the car your gas tank is on. For more time-saving life hacks, you can visit websites such as lifehack.org or YouTube. You can even follow life hacks on Twitter at lifehacker.
They're easy to do. It just took me 2 minutes to do a couple of them.
Reporting for Fast Track, I'm Kara Miller.
Up next on Fast Track, we'll discuss campus safety and the procedures for remaining free from harm's way.
We'll be right back.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Many women are told to be proactive with their safety, and the Purdue Police Department agrees as well. They offer women in the community self-defense classes that can be attended many times a year. Fast Track reporter Ellie Thalls takes us inside the class to uncover how Purdue Police are trying to keep women and the students safe on campus.
It's a 12-hour course geared towards women's self-defense, really geared towards rape, aggression, and defense is what it comes down to.
The Purdue Police Department offers women peace of mind when walking alone in the form of a 3-day rape, aggression, defense class. Sergeant John Getz says the class lets women test their strength.
It becomes very physical. We push all the tables back in our large conference room, and we teach them some very specific self-defense techniques that are geared towards a female's physique.
On the last night of class, women get to use the techniques they learned in real-life scenarios.
It really amps up by the end of simulation night, and we try and make it as realistic as possible. By the end of that, there's usually really good self-confidence building that happens among the class.
For some women, this is their first time taking a self-defense course.
I just wanted to learn. I had never done anything like this before.
Unlike Shanika Lawson, who has now completed the class 3 times.
This is my 3rd time through aggression night, and every time I come, I learn something different about myself.
RAD is not just about learning to defend, it's about becoming aware as well.
The course teaches 90% of self-defense is self-awareness.
Sergeant Bosch is the second RAD instructor and gives these tips to women on campus.
Trying to avoid areas where you know are dangerous or where you know bad things happen. Try and stay in areas where there's lots of people, because generally where there's lots of people, there's a lot more people to come to your aid, and there's a lot more witnesses, and people don't want to commit crimes in that type of environment.
Lawson follows these tips, as well as being aware of her surroundings on her early morning walks to the gym.
I walk to the gym from my office alone. It's dark, I'm carrying my bag. I'm always on the phone, like chatting to someone, looking around. If I hear footsteps, I sort of kind of angle as I'm walking, and it helps you become a lot more aware of your surroundings. You know that there's a car coming up the road behind you. You know that if you no longer hear that car, you might want to glance over your shoulder to see if it's stopped, or to see if it's like slowly, parking somewhere and someone is getting out.
RAD instructors asked how many women carried mace. Over 60% of the class said they did. Many women carry mace, but RAD instructors say this may not be enough. Awareness is key. Knowing where emergency boxes like this are on campus may help you in an attack.
There's all sorts of safety preparations made on campus, lighting, the emergency telephone service boxes, random patrols of police officers. There's a lot of things that are here to help keep people safe.
Well, I don't think that it's something that we need specifically at Purdue's campus. I think it's something that we need just generally as a society. Unfortunately, we live in a world where people make poor decisions. Bad things happen. We want women to feel empowered to go about their days.
And after simulation night, Lawson definitely feels like she has the power.
Never realize how strong you are until you see these grown men like doubling over, even with all of the pads on. You feel kind of good about yourself, like you're a pro wrestler in training.
If we can keep one person safe out of all the classes we do, if we can have them avoid being assaulted, avoid being attacked, avoid having their property stolen, I mean, these classes are well worth it.
The next class is held at the Lafayette Police Department October 7th, 8th, and 9th. More information can be found on their website. This is Ellie Thalls reporting for Fast Track.
I am poised under pressure. I led Purdue to a come-from-behind victory in my first start. I am focused on the field and in class. I draw inspiration from the cradle of quarterbacks. I am Rob Henry, and I am a Boilermaker.
Welcome back to Fast Track. In recent events involving a fatal shooting on Purdue's campus, students have been left wondering what procedures can be taken to protect themselves and others in preventing further tragedies. Alexandra Johnson has more on what can improve campus safety.
January 21st of 2014, there was a shooting on Purdue University's campus. Many students were uninformed of the situation and unsure about how to proceed with their day.
I know there was a mass text message that got sent out, but I also know there are a lot of people that didn't get a text message and found out through other people and were unsure of the situation.
Police arrived on the scene within minutes to handle the situation. The Purdue police have a routine procedure they go through, but students are unsure they could have done anything to prevent the shooting from happening.
There weren't any warning signs. It's not like the guy had done anything to aggravate the shooter. I think the response time was probably one of the best things they had going for them. Obviously, it's very sad that he died, but I don't think there was much they could have done beforehand to prevent it.
There was a candlelight vigil that Tuesday night to remember Andrew Bolt, the student killed in the shooting.
This is a time to embrace the spirit of the Boilermaker community and unite together as we try to understand the unfortunate event that took place earlier this afternoon.
Some students feel unaware of what procedures to take if another shooting or violent act were to happen on campus and would like to see some more education happen for students in these areas.
We do need to look at like the gun control laws and see if those are appropriate. I think those might need to be reevaluated.
They could do some information sessions or lessons to newcoming freshman students about gun policy.
Purdue has a full report of campus policies and safety procedures as well as crime statistics for the campus. In here, students can find out what to do in the event of a shooting, robbery, sexual assault, or even weather issues. This report is meant to prepare students if ever in a dangerous situation and make them feel safe at Purdue.
I think it's a generally safe campus. You know, you don't really hear about a lot happening. You have instances every once in a while, but most part, I feel pretty safe walking around campus no matter what time of day.
No, I don't think it's a dangerous campus. It's probably, if you look at the criminal statistics, it's probably one of the safest campus in the USA.
Reporting for Fast Track, I'm Alexandra Johnson.
That's all we have time for on this week's edition of Fast Track. Thanks for watching. I'm Ryan Strout.
And I'm Alexandra Johnson. Join us again next week.